Well, okay, how do we get the word out? How do we find that? Well, from the Philadelphia Corporation for Aging Services, Diane Brown is a specialist on aging, getting the word out.
Yes, and how do I get here I am, and I want to put it in. Okay.
Okay, you have it?
Yeah, and then I'm using like the things again.
Okay, he's right here.
Okay. All right, just write it down. Okay, thank you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's indeed a pleasure to be here, and I'm just going to spend a little bit of time talking about the services of PCA. You've heard about the problems, like in some of the neighborhoods, having to do with maybe seniors who are lonely, who are in need of activities, having difficulty with paying their heating bills, being abused, wanting to work or volunteer, maybe out of food, needed more information about health concerns. The one place that you can go here in the city of Philadelphia is Philadelphia Corporation for Aging. We're known as an area agency on aging. A little difficult to say, but a AAA, having nothing to do with the car people, and it's an area agency on aging. In each county throughout the United States, each county has a AAA. So since Philadelphia is its own county, we service Philadelphia. Anytime you have a question about what services you may be eligible for or your loved one, the number that you want to dial is 215-765-9040. That is your lifeline into finding out information. PCA was founded in 1973. We just recently celebrated our 40th birthday. And we are not under city government. We are a profit and non-profit organization. We're part of a national network of agencies that was established under the Federal Older Americans Act. So there's an actual budget, aligned budget item for older adults in the federal budget. Our activities through PCA are authorized by the Pennsylvania Department of Aging. And our mission is to improve the quality of life for older adults, usually around age 60, starting at age 60, who reside in Philadelphia. It accomplishes its mission through advocating for older people and providing services in the home and in the community. Our funding is primarily from the Pennsylvania Lottery. So each night when you're watching your TV at 7 o'clock when the lottery comes on, what do you hear at the end? Proceeds to benefits older adults in Pennsylvania. That's what they normally say. We also get some funding from the state and federal funds, city dollars, foundation grants, corporate support, and private donations. And PCA is increasingly dependent upon medical assistance funds, so those are those federal and state matches to support the long-term care programs. These services, again, PCA employs nearly 650 individuals, and we work with over 100 organizations throughout the city. We service over 100,000 people per year. Some of the major benefits that are paid for being before aging dollars are passed down to area agencies such as PCA include the property tax rebates and transportation. So you may be aware, particularly in Philadelphia, an older adult, they can ride SEPTA all they want, 7/24, all week, all weekend, never having to pay because of those dollars. We also support the PACE program, PACE-NET. These are programs that provide generic brand name medications for persons on Medicare who are 65 and older who reside in Pennsylvania at least 90 days. There's income information. If you're receiving as a single person income that is at least $14,000 a year, you're paying for your generic drugs at $6. Those that are married Income $17,000, then it's $9 per brand. And then there's more here about the income levels. So the higher income, the most that you're going to pay for generic brand medication is $9. Again, the property tax and rent rebate is usually for people who are starting at age 65. However, if you are a widow or widower, then it will start at age 50, and for disabled persons, age 18. And there's more information here about the supplemental property tax rebate, homeowners as well as renters. Senior transportation, we already talked about the fact that our older adults can ride Scepter 24/7 with the proper ID. As well with the regional rails, free to seniors with a valid PACE or the valid yellow medical assistant access card that is issued by the state of Pennsylvania, $1 for other seniors, and they can get the $10 trip tickets to ride the regional rails. We have and we support the CC Connect program. We call it Share Ride. You see the little buses that go up and down the street that provide door-to-door transportation for seniors 65 and older. They pay $4 each way and $3.50 for each group of 3 or more. So the senior is actually only paying about 15% of the actual cost. The rest is being paid through the lottery dollars. PCA also has an attended transportation services. This is a program that will assist the older adult door-through-door, upper floor assistance for older adults age 60. Should an older adult require escort, that person must be provided by the consumer, and that escort also pays $4. And eligible trip purposes are for medical needs, social service, going to and from adult daycare, shopping, and senior centers. We also support the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program. It starts every year in July, where older adults age 60 are eligible for 4 $5 coupons to buy fruits and vegetables. This is really a program to support the farmers in Philadelphia, where you can buy those fruits and vegetables that are grown by Pennsylvania farmers. We support a health insurance counseling program with all the things that go on in October for older adults and selecting out their health care. Then a prize is a counseling program available. PCA also has an employment services program that will assist the older adult with employment, job search, and usually at age 55. We also support legal services for older adults, assisting with wills, benefit, taxes, small claim court, and landlord-tenant disputes. Senior centers, we call them the original social network. Senior centers have been around long before Facebook and all these other things. At the senior center, there's quite a bit of information, referrals, and benefits assistance. They get a nice hot meal, transportation. There's an opportunity to volunteer, socialize, recreation, educational activities. The SHARP program, this is our minor home repair program for older adults 60 and over. There is minor repairs, sometimes shower bars, grab bars, rails that can be put in the home as well as outside of the home. There is usually approximately a 3-month waiting list, 1-year guarantee on the work that is done, and an individual can apply for the program every 5 years. The programs for the frail and homebound, again, is the PCA helpline. This is our information and intake for long-term care services. You can call for information or arrange for an assessment. PCA's two largest home care programs are the waiver and options program. The waiver program services more than 10,000 consumers aged 60 and over. There is an income limit for assets. Medically waivered consumers are eligible for nursing home care but can be cared for at home. It is PCA's mission to keep people in their homes as long as possible. Under the waiver program, there is no cost sharing, but however, the estate recovery applies. There's no waiting list, but at least 2 to 3 months wait due to the Department of Public Welfare processing time. So with the waiver, persons who receive waiver services will experience a change of insurance. They will disenroll from their HMO and is switched over to medical assistance fee-for-service. We have the options program. This services approximately 1,700 consumers. Income or assets and all levels of care make one ineligible for the waiver program, and so therefore they would be eligible for options. This is cost sharing, but only about 10% of consumers actually pay into this service. About 1,060 on waiting list, so that's 1,060 people who may be on the waiting list. Highest need cases get priority with possible 200 to receive services in the next few months. So it is a constant moving off of people off of the waiting list. Waiver and option promotes consumer choice, and through the personal assistance program, the consumer may have may be able to hire a home health aide and of their own choosing, except for a spouse. Especially helpful when there is a language barrier. Sometimes people are getting services in their home, but they're receiving services for someone who may not speak their language. We also support the senior adult daycare. That's different from senior centers. The adult daycare is for the more frail type individual. And then we have the life programs. These are the daycare and home-based care. These services are through what's called Living Independently for Elders. And the individual may choose to pay to receive these services through one of the life programs. To be eligible, an individual must be over the age of 55, require nursing facility level care services, and live in one of the life program service delivery areas. So you can get more information about that through our helpline. We also have a family caregiver support program. This program is focused on the caregiver ages 18 and plus. So while the majority of our services are for people 60 and over, we do provide services for individuals who are disabled starting at age 18. The family receives social work services and allowances of $250 per month to purchase services, respite, and supplies to support the caregiver. So this is an effort. We know many times that the caregiver is so engrossed in taking care of their loved ones, sometimes they can neglect themselves. Support for caregivers age 55 and over, caring for children ages under age 18. We have Dom Care. This matches an adult age 18 and over who cannot live alone with individuals or families who are willing to open their homes and provide this kind of service. The Senior Companion Program is an income-eligible senior ages 55 and above who visit other elderly people and just be a support to that individual. Nursing home transition. This assists nursing home residents age 60 and over into returning back to the community. So it's not always that when you go into a nursing home that you're going to be there always. There's the possibility of coming back into the community, back into your home, or into one of the other programs such as Dom Care. The PCA helpline is also the intake point for these services for the frail. The boarding home supplement and medical assistant nursing home grant. The in-home support program is a senior center-based program that provides early intervention and prevention services to assist consumers on their road back to independence. So in-home support includes quite a bit here. The homemaker services, personal care, home-delivered meals. Now that I'm talking about it, you might begin to see on the streets the square-back trucks. They're white trucks, got the big letters PCA. They're delivering meals, and some people get frozen meals that will last them for the whole week, and others get hot meals, one hot meal a day. Under the in-home support program is the senior companion program, the transportation, laundering service where needed, shopping, advocacy, and help with benefits and entitlements. So there are an in-home support site in each section of the city. As you see here, the Klein branch up in the northeast. The northwest section of the city is Center in the Park. The north central part of the city is North City Congress. In South Philly, St. Charles, and in West Philly, there's the West Philadelphia Senior Center. Staff and volunteer ombudsmen visit long-term care facilities with the goal of handling any complaints and helping to improve quality of life for residents age 18 and older. So we have people who are trained to go into the go into the nursing homes. If residents there have complaints, they can be brought back to PCA or one of the service sites to follow up on those complaints. We have older adult protective services. Sometimes you may notice or suspect that your neighbor or family member is being abused in their home. You can contact PCA, and PCA will come out within 72 hours. We have the LIHEAP cash program. This is for homeowners, but also some renters to subsidize housing tenants and some roomers that are eligible at 150% of the poverty figure used for income eligibility. And the minimum cash grant is $100, but it can be as much as $1,000. The Emergency Fund for Older Adults. This is a program where we'll assist older adults in getting fuel, food, clothing, and medical needs. Usually a one-time grant. The consumer must be referred by a social worker or clergy person and have exhausted other resources. So we have a big fundraiser once a year, but you can contribute to PCA's emergency fund at any time to assist our older adults who may be in need. Again, this is help with oil and whatever services that an individual might need. Milestones, that is our newsletter. If you come out to the vendor area, I have milestones on hand. I wish you will take that. That is a nice way to stay on top of issues that are impacting older adults. This is worldwide, and we are award-winning with this magazine. And if you don't want to deal with paper, you can always go online and read milestones there. We do have a PCA website. Some of the programs that older adults may be eligible for, you can actually go online and apply online. PCA's community relations. Anytime you call PCA, you're having a benefit, you're having something going on, and you want representation from PCA, you can simply call our community outreach. We will come out, we will do a presentation. I'm here today. And again, if you call at main number 215-765-9000, extension 5340, we will come out to your event. Again, the helpline, anytime you have a question, you're not certain about what your eligibility may be, please call our helpline, and someone will be there to assist you. helpline. There are people who speak other languages to assist anyone who may be in need for themselves or for a loved one or a neighbor. Just call our helpline and they will direct you to services, refer you, or be able to provide the services directly. So thank you for your time. Anyone have any questions?
Is there an income consideration for that minor, the stay-at-home care you were talking about?
There's an income guideline with that, and they will base it on there. Most of the time, you're not paying for that service, but yeah, they do take your income into consideration. Yes.
I'd like to know if you can communicate with Connect and ask them to be more dependable.
That is the number one complaint about Connect is the availability. And one of the things you have to take into consideration, it is a fantastic program. And one of the things that leads to them arriving to your home late is because they're picking up more than one person. They're traveling a particular route, but all it takes is one person to be late and it throws everybody else off. So that's probably the downside to that particular program. It's a marvelous program, but that is probably the downside to it, unfortunately.
And we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.